The Champagne-Ardenne region lies in northern France and borders Ile de France, Burgundy and Lorraine. The fertile soil and chalk rocks of this region offer optimum conditions for grapevine growing. The largest part of this region is part of the Paris Basin. To the north lie the Ardennes, Argonne, then along the river Meuse and Langres plateau in the southeast. French history has always been closely connected with Champagne. French kings were crowned here, and the important battles of the Marne were fought here. Famous people like Attila, Napoleon, Joan of Arc, and of course Dom Perignon, a Benedictine monk who discovered the secret of sparkling wine, have left their traces here. Splendid buildings, sacred monuments of great times and tidy small towns, all that is characteristic of the Champagne region. Hospitable people, as well as the French baguette culture, are evidence of the joy of life, savoir-vivre, and immediately you begin developing a fondness for this region. Very French is also the motto of Champagne, live like God in France. This of course applies mainly to cuisine. Nobody can say no to champagne and such attractively decorated delicacies. You can best explore the charm of the Champagne region on the route touristique. The best means of transport is a horse carriage. This way you can feel even more closely connected to this beautiful landscape, and you can enjoy the fresh air as well as Mother Nature. The well-marked route touristique goes through many small viticultural villages, such as, for example, Haute-Ville, that can be regarded as the birthplace of Champagne, because it was here where Dom Perignon developed the predecessor of today's Champagne. Around noon, Haute-Ville looks almost lifeless. No masses of people, no traffic. This is no place for people who are seeking entertainment. Only one who values quiet and peace can enjoy it here in the village and can feel good here. Caringly decorated shop signs on houses proudly point at the long viticultural tradition. After tasting only a drop, you will understand that people here are true experts in this tradition. The trip continues further to the small town of Ailly. Also here, the main characteristic is peace. You can usually meet local people only in front of the bakers where they buy their daily bread. The only sound is the perpetual rhythmic clopping of horses' hooves striking the ground. Verzenay is also peacefully sleepy like the whole of Champagne, and the inhabitants enjoy their favourite activity, pétanque, in the shade of the trees. The symbol of Verzenay is an old windmill in the middle of the vineyards. Pleasant paths invite you to take a walk around the town. If this isn't thrilling enough for you, you can find many opportunities for another hobby, golf. In local clubs you can hire equipment so that there need not be anything between you, the ball and the green. Families travelling with children who want some action should visit Cité des Sciences, an entertainment park that introduces science and technology to children in an enjoyable way. In an exact replica of a TV studio, children can try to forecast the weather or try their hand at direct live broadcasting behind a camera. There are no restrictions on hunger for knowledge, and all puzzles are revealed so that it's interesting and fun. How was Superman taught to fly in the film? Children are simply enthralled to be here. You can play here with machines like with this one for communication. And you can talk to people who you in fact don't know. Here, children can thoroughly explore the human body too. Listen to your own heartbeat, or see what the skeleton does when you move. All of them are fascinated as they look at optical illusions and tricks, and they show their own skills. The absolutely most popular highlight is the video phone. To phone and at the same time see each other, that's ingenious. To play with a computer and at the same time to explore the world, that's how easy it is here in the Cité des Sciences. Construction of the cathedral in Reims started in the 13th century. Thanks to its beautiful sculptural decoration and unified style, the cathedral ranks highly amongst the most important Gothic cathedrals in Christendom. The fire in 1480 damaged the tops of the spires, but this small imperfection isn't important compared to the overall beauty of the elaborate facade. The interior feels huge. The body of the church is 38 meters high. Absolutely unique are the colored stained glass windows. Marc Chagall provided sketches for some of these pieces of art, but only a few paintings have been preserved, so they have been partly replaced by viticultural motifs. Notwithstanding the power that shines around the cathedral, Reims seems somewhat calm and peaceful. There isn't much which reminds us of the role of this holy city in the Ancien Régime. Reims' Roman past is also manifested only by a few surviving monuments like the Porte de Mars. But Reims always livens up instantly when you meet its inhabitants, especially in their everyday life. In the morning you can go to the local market. Here you can find people from near and far. They exchange news, and goods exchange their owners. In the Saint-Thibault Hall, all these tradesmen have met and brought their goods to sell. They sell mainly home-produced fruit and vegetables. There are no chemically sprayed salads or mass-produced items. Golden garlic, sweet-smelling flowers or candles made of honey. Here you have a chance to buy some really authentic souvenirs. If the observant traveller has time for observation of what's happening, he or she will quickly discover 1,000 small peculiarities indigenous to the local inhabitants. Charles-Camille Heidsiek, born in 1822 in Rennes, devoted his whole life to this noble and luxurious drink. He decided to produce champagne of extra quality and to make it known all over the world. He achieved his goal and made champagne popular in high society during the 19th century. Back then as well as today, Charles Heidsiek is present at every important social event. The furnishings of Charles Heidsiek's villa are evidence of the lifestyle of the Champagne King. In 1989, his life story was even turned into a film starring Hugh Grant. It was called Champagne Charlie. Here we see the smoking room where friends were received. We've reconstructed here all the events mirroring Charles-Camille Heidsiek's adventurous character. Charles-Camille Heidsiek engaged also as a patron of sailboat regattas. Here you can see a sailboat called Charles Heidsiek, which even took part in the regatta at Whitbread. Then we have here Scott's Antarctic expedition, which set out in 1911 to explore the North Pole. Here you can see pictures of a Christmas celebration with Charles Heidsiek shortly before the expedition started. Here is a collection of decorations and medals that were awarded to Charles Heidsiek's champagne. We have high-quality wines which regularly receive prizes in international competitions. Champagne is an excellent agricultural area with a unique soil quality and a special climate. This uniqueness is decisive for quality of Chardonnay, Pinot Noir and Pinot Meunier, types that are grown in this region. And it's also the reason why champagne can come only from Champagne. Now we are in Charles Heidsiek's fermentation cellar. Here young wines are produced. Grape juice is supplied throughout the harvest. Then Charles Heidsiek chooses the wines, and as soon as they get to the cellar, they are filled into tanks. This is a state-of-the-art cellar. It is equipped with the most modern technology. In 170 huge tanks, the wines are separated, and then they ferment according to type and quality of the grapes. All the different steps of the fermentation process are constantly checked. Every detail is important, such as, for example, the temperature. Before storage in the cellar, the wine is filtered. The outcome is absolutely pure wine. One of the most important steps of wine production is assemblage. The cellarman collates over 100 different wines into one cuvée. Here, for example, is Chardonnay. It adds to champagne maturity and elegance. This is Pinot Noir, late Burgundian. In contrast to the white grapes of Chardonnay, the pulp of its grapes is white, but covered with dark skin. This means that it always has a certain tint, which however also disappears completely at the end of the assemblage. I also have to mention Meunier, or Black Riesling, which I always feel has a stronger flavour. Pinot Meunier adds to the champagne its structure and supports the softness of its flavour profile. This rounds off harmonic production of the wine. After the assemblage, cuvées are filled into bottles with yeasts and diluted liqueur to ferment for the second time. Thousands of bottles move on this line. Champagne is then stored in chalk cellars 20 meters under the ground for at least 3 years. At the end of the maturation process, fermentative sediments must be removed. This takes about 3 weeks. Every day the bottles are revolved 1/8 of the way around. This moves the fermentative sediments closer and closer to the neck of the bottle. Finally, the neck is briefly frozen so that it's easy to remove the sediments. The cellars with champagnes, which are former Roman quarries, offer ideal conditions for the process of maturing. Chalk rock ensures high humidity in the air, as well as a constant temperature of 9 degrees. Down here you can also find real treasures of the Champagne Empire. The best bottles of different vintages are carefully stored under perfect conditions. A special attraction is the cable railway. Here you feel as if you have returned back into the classic movie era. An imitation of the famous Rick's Cafe from the film Casablanca has been integrated into a cellar. While Humphrey Bogart sits at the bar, Sam plays world-famous tunes on the piano. The presentation of the House of Champagne Pieper-Heidsieck is rather daring and knowingly unconventional. The character of this businessman is luxurious and almost a bit decadent. You can admire the most precious bottles of champagne in the world, which are decorated with gold and precious stones. A fashion designer was also part of this. Jean-Paul Gaultier made an extravagant corset to fit directly this supreme champagne. He symbolically chose the colour red, seductive and mysterious. Here in the bar you can then stylishly flirt with a glass of champagne and enjoy yourself. Champagne, a drink for the special and extraordinary moments in your life. This is also true for high society. It's fun to walk through the entrance hall and look at the pictures with popular mondaine stars at famous film festivals. Now it's time for the nightlife of Rennes. In the pedestrian zone you can have a pleasant walk in a peaceful evening atmosphere and enjoy worldly pleasures in countless cafes and restaurants. Champagne offers fantastic cuisine. Everybody devotes a lot of time to eating here because only that way you can best appreciate the delicious dishes. An especially interesting restaurant is Le Vigneron. Its owner, Erwin Leschamps, furnished it exactly as he wished, and his love for champagne can be seen everywhere. His collection includes hundreds of posters and the decor is regularly changed, but Le Vigneron is popular mainly thanks to its delicious cuisine. Of course, champagne simply can't be missing here either.
Donc c'est une recette très simple, à base de crème fraîche, un tout petit peu de sucre glace, que je vais montrer.
What I am explaining to you now is a very simple recipe. It's based on crème fraîche and a bit of sweet ice cream, which I add using a whisk.
Y incorporer du champagne
When everything turns a bit lumpy, I add champagne.
charlétique qu'on va incorporer dans cette
The champagne is mixed with crème and it foams into small bubbles.
plus important dans toute la recette.
And what's special about this recipe is that you eat wild strawberries with it.
Avec des bulles et des bulles de champagne. Tu veux?
This is a dessert which takes some time to prepare, but which is highly popular with visitors to the restaurant. The Champagne region, due to its beautiful scenery with only modest hills, is also fit for cycling trips. If you have enough time, you should surely make an all-day trip to neighbouring Lorraine. Vittel is a rather sleepy place in Lorraine. The origin of this name dates back to the times of the Roman general Vitellius, who used to hold his lavish banquets here. The town lives on the very thing that has made it famous, its water. The Medicine Academy has approved the healing qualities of the famous springs. If what does the healing is the peaceful atmosphere, or if it is the chemistry of the spring water itself, is for everybody themselves to decide. At present, Vittel is very prosperous. Many splendid houses in the town give evidence of the glamour of Belle Époque. At the beginning of the 20th century, high society brought to Vittel not only money, but also style and elegance. This is still evident on old buildings in the spa and its surroundings. More than 8,000 spa guests and 24,000 conference guests come here every year from all over the world to immerse themselves in the mysterious atmosphere of the 1930s. Of course, everything centres on the spring called Grande Source, which produces water for the famous mineral water. But guests have other opportunities here too. Also, the springs called Hepar and Bonne Source are important for a drinking cure. Each kind of water helps different bodily functions. Apart from peaceful healing procedures, Vittel also has a very special attraction, horses. In summer, people from throughout the whole area come here. Races become a matter of business, while at the same time it's an opportunity to meet new people, as well as those you haven't met for a while. Many Euros exchange their owners when betting takes place. Even people who don't understand racing are also inclined to place a bet or two. Though local people are a bit reserved and not very vivid, it's very busy here during the races. As soon as the horses begin racing, everyone pays full attention exclusively to them. People intently watch the racing course and begin to hope. It's also worth visiting the town of Nancy. Concerning art, Nancy was a match for Brussels, Paris and Vienna thanks to the boom of Art Nouveau around 1900. The most beautiful buildings from that period have been preserved until the present day. In the heart of the town there is the Place Stanislas, a square formed by perfect architecture with huge attention to detail. It is named after Leszczyński, a Polish king and the last Duke of Lorraine. He controlled the fate of the country at the beginning of the 18th century for 30 years. Himself a friend of art, Stanislas brought the best artists to his court. Nancy became a centre for architects, painters and sculptors. The Polish ruler also erected the Triumphal Arch located next to the Place Stanislas. Wrought iron railings, elaborately gilded and decorated, remind us of a significant past. The town is varied as well as splendid, boastful and beautiful. Though it has only around 400,000 inhabitants, it is surely one of the most interesting destinations in northern France. You definitely shouldn't miss the chance to visit it. About a 20-minute car ride from Nancy is the Château d'Arroux. The castle from the 18th century is a unique example of the great times when Lorraine used to be independent. After the Duke Stanislas died, it became French territory. The castle was built in a unique style by Champagne-Ardenne Beaufort. It lies in a small valley in the middle of the town of Arrouet. Its prominent architectural style depicts a calendar. The castle has 365 windows, 52 chimneys, 12 towers and 4 bridges. This corresponds to the number of days, weeks, months and seasons in the year. When you begin to explore it thoroughly, this region offers an extraordinarily beautiful landscape off the busy main roads. The best way to do it is by boat. Who hasn't dreamt of becoming the captain of a ship at least once? The canals in Lorraine tempt you to conquer them. It's a unique experience getting to know the landscape and villages of this region by sliding through the myriad canals. Small differences in height can be quickly overcome through the locks. The many locks are no problem even for an inexperienced captain. The staff of the locks oversee the process and they are ready at any time to help. About 50 kilometres to the north of Nancy lies Épinal. This town with 48,000 inhabitants lies right in the heart of the Vosges. Épinal was founded at the end of the 10th century by a bishop from Metz, and it soon became the political, commercial and cultural centre of Lorraine, Alsace, Burgundy and Champagne. Today, Épinal is the capital of the Vosges department. It has many administrative offices but is mainly attractive because of its beautiful old town. Peace and quiet make this region something quite unique. Romantic villages set into beautiful landscape take visitors back into the past. It seems here in northern France as if time has stopped. You find no stress or rush here. Hopefully it'll stay like that for a long time. And the most famous child of this region, Champagne, will always be popular with people who have tasted it.